this collection was just anti-Valentine's Day. It's focusing on loving yourself and having fun and not taking yourself too seriously. I feel like it's a holiday that you can just, I don't know, kind of get sad, and it doesn't need to be about that. So that's where I'm at right now in my life, and I just wanted to have this collection kind of highlight that. I've been designing since college. I started making scrunchies, swimwear, and crop tops, and my friends liked them, and so I started an Etsy. And then from there, I had the idea to try to go commercial, and it was really fun, but it's not realistic for someone that's my size with the capital, with the resources that I had. So I went back to sewing, and this is kind of my first collection where I'm making everything again.
And how does that connect to your feelings about love? You know, your love for sewing, going back to your roots of like, okay, this is the first thing we're really doing every stitch. Talk to me about that and this idea of the love through line.
Yeah, I think it's falling back in love with the process. On a commercial level, it's so much planning. You're planning something like, I mean, that took 1.5 years to make my swimwear. And by the end, I kind of felt disconnected to it. I was limited in my resources. This is like being in love with sewing again. It's cutting everything yourself. It's trial and error on the mannequin and fucking up 1,000,000 times until you get it right. And I really love that. So I think it's also just going back to myself, like loving the present moment and loving where I'm at right now.
And describe it like sewing, the messing up, trying again. I think a lot of us see that in our journey of self-love, right?
Yeah. For me, at least, I put myself out there in relationships and give them everything, and it's been draining. And not that that's not a beautiful thing and something that I don't want eventually, but there has to be some balance. Putting this stuff on hold while I'm trying to make a relationship work, like, didn't feel fulfilling. So being able to pour back into this and sew and work on this, it's always been my goal. It's always been what I want. So it is back to my roots. My grandma taught me how to sew. She is sassy and fabulous and skilled and smart. Learning how to sew with her was the best time of my life. Name it. That was back in like probably 2016, 2017. It was humbling. I mean, anytime I made a mistake, she let me know. But looking back, that's what made me a good sewer. I usually would sew like after class with her, like I was in college. Yeah, so I would go to her house, and someone asked me to make them a bridal bikini because they were getting married on paddleboard. And I was like, yeah. And she was like, what are you doing? You're terrible. She was like, don't. And she basically helped me make the whole thing. That bikini is when I developed, for sure, under her wing. Like, she showed me the whole process, like how important pattern making is, cutting, sewing, hand sewing. Because before that, I was like sloppy and messy and just wanted to get to the end point of everything. Everyone calls me Tosh or Tasha. Feels more like me than Natasha. And so when I was thinking of a name, I really wanted to be representative of like my ideas and who I am. When I first started, I had no income. I was a waitress and a college student, and I had no idea what I was doing. So I would go to the thrift shop like all the time, and the bulk of what I did was recreate thrifted items. So I would like find a shirt and make it a set, or find a long dress and make it like a really cute mini dress. And then I would go to markets and try to sell that. So like Sowa in Boston and stuff like that. On a commercial level, I had to sample a bunch of shit. So I've been sitting on all of this fabric for a really long time. And at this point, I was really ready to just start sewing again and like just put all of that aside. I wanted to have fun with it. I just wanted to, I don't know, just make with what I had. And so all of this is based off of sample fabrics. If most companies were to get fabric like this, a lot of the times it's just gonna end up in a landfill. Like, they're not gonna do anything. They're gonna test a color, they're gonna test the wash of it, and then it's gonna be tossed. So I'm happy that I was able to repurpose it into a really small collection. So that's why most of the stuff is going to be like one small, one medium, or one small, one medium, one large, or something like that, because that's just what I had available. I want them to feel like they're having fun, like they're going out with their friends and they're like dancing to Bad Bunny all night, and just cute and feminine and sexy, and not through the male gaze, like through them and their personal style. Like, so that means it fits well, it's functional, and it's cute. It's not like this thing that you have to think about all the time, or you have to be super stiff in. Like, it should move and it should work with you. And I think that's what I try to do here, is make stuff that works. I think that's it. Was that too much?